Well, good evening. I guess we don't need to bang this because there's no noise in here. Good evening. This is a pleasure because we haven't done this since February. So this is awesome. We're ready to try to get back to normal as quick as we can, and this is a part of it. So this is great. Thank y'all for being here. So I call this meeting of Magnolia Independent School District to order. Let the record show that a quorum of board members is present, that this meeting has been duly called, and that notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code Chapter 551. So if everybody would stand, Ms. McDonald's going to lead us in our invocation.
It's long been a tradition to start our meetings with a prayer, so if you'd like to join me in prayer, that would be great. Father, thank you so much for this day that we can all be together in person safely. Thank you for the kids that are here. Thank you for their parents and their grandparents that are here. I pray that you watch over those families in our district and just keep them all safe and all healthy. And Father, I want to thank you so much for the law enforcement, especially for the men and women in this room next to us right now. We just appreciate them so much, and I just pray that you protect them. And I pray especially for our president. Please keep him healthy, give him the wisdom to make all the decisions that he needs to make. And I just pray all these things in your name, amen.
Amen. Thank you. All right, so David and Summer, y'all want to come up here and lead us in our pledges? Where's our flag? So David, you're going to do the U.S., right? And then Summer's going to do the Texas? All right, well, David, get us kicked off.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Flag. Pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
All right, if Summer would stay up here and David can have a seat for a minute.
year as well. Lots of people here this full day. He has continually challenged himself by taking advantage of a variety of classes and is heavily involved in our fine arts department. He's a member of our wind symphony and our jazz band, and is also the current president of the Magnolia High School marching band. Some of David's accomplishments in band are no big deal, just the first freshman ever in the history of Magnolia band to earn all regions as freshmen. All region band begins as sophomores. All area band is a junior. Participated in state solo and ensemble contests as a sophomore and a junior, and he was all district jazz band as a junior as well. I'd like to read a couple comments. I'm going to start with Mr. Medina's nomination of David. David's our band president this year, the highest student officer in our organization. He also set the standard his freshman year by earning inclusion for the freshman all-region band, the first for an NHSA. Between his freshman and junior year, David has dealt with and survived cancer. This is remarkable in and of itself that David battled the situation with dignity in class. When he returns to the city, he jumps right back into the everyday activities of band. I cannot remember a day over the past 3 years David has ever displayed an incapacity. I look up to David as an inspiration. This young man dealt with a serious health issue and kept a smile throughout. This short paragraph is but a sampling of David as an individual. As an emerging artist, he has played a key role in the development of our concert band, marching band, jazz band, and chamber music program. I know my world is better because David Camacho has been a part of our band, and I have the honor of working with him on a daily basis. Some other feedback from these teachers includes quality. David has a personality that will light up the room and be comfortable around you. He's great to have in class, and a pleasure to teach. Great things for his future. Another teacher says David carries himself with an aura of joy. He exudes positivity and kindness to everyone he encounters. He is confident in who he is and is not afraid to ask for clarification when working on any of his tasks. He is a student who is not afraid to try again, never afraid of failing, only focused on learning by doing, and that is why he succeeds. Another teacher says David is the hardest working, most enthusiastic, and helpful student. He has such enthusiasm for everything and is so positive. I've never seen him in a bad mood or being bored. This is a great school. David is a great student. I have him in my attorney class, and he's always actively engaged. He has very intelligent and thought-provoking questions about the curriculum, and he's also shown a willingness and an empathetic attitude towards being and helping a foreign exchange student with his language barrier. I'm very proud of David, and he absolutely deserves an award. After graduating from Magnolia High School, David's going to do no work, right? But ultimately with an interest in pursuing a career in musical therapy. He's talked about seeing safety learning as an opportunity for that career path. We
That's a celebration. We're gonna keep track of both of you guys. All right, I think, Dr. Garza's next.
We've got a new segment we're going to, you're up, come on up here, that we're gonna add to every month's board meeting. You know, get these things off my ear there. And I've forgotten how much I enjoy getting a chance to see our outstanding students up here every month. And it's just I mean, it's a good group to meet with here, but something's just not the same when we don't have our kids and our principals here at our board meetings. So it's really good to have everybody back. Well, we're going to add to it from now on, and we want to recognize one of the best and brightest and most capable within our district of our teaching staff every year. And so Dr. Garza is going to help us, and I've kind of tasked he and his team to always kind of be able to come up with and figure out who, you know, our top teacher of the year. So Dr. Garza, take it away, sir. You know, if we could get everybody in front of the mic, it might help the rest of the room and all those that are joining us online to hear.
we have a great cross-section of our great businesses in this community that are here to let not only you, but the rest of our teachers know how much this community values great teaching here in Magnolia ISD. So, although you've been here a short time, we hope that you found a great home here, and thank you so much for your passion and energy that you bring to the teaching field in Magnolia. And you represent all of us for this month, so congratulations so much. Thank you. How about that?
That's awesome. What a celebration. So we're gonna do that every month?
We're going to do that every month and get a chance to, we're going to bring some of our, again, the best we have in Magnolia ISD and recognize them up here. And it's so much fun to watch those kids. We're going to have a chance to kind of see something about our teacher. Now, hopefully we'll have a video every month too. You know, puts pressure on some of them to do that or whatever. So,
High bar to get over. Congratulations.
So, while we are going to recognize our kiddos and our teachers every month, it's like once a year we have a special treat, and whether it's been October or whatever, but we represent our men in blue in Magnolia and Magnolia ISD, and that is our constables that we have here with Constable Chris Jones. Chris, where are you? Chris? Right over here. Chris Jones, our elected constable in Magnolia. And I'm going to ask, ladies and gentlemen, could y'all move up here forward a little more? I mean, in fact, come right up here and stand in front of us right there. You know, guys, I know that we've got a microphone, but almost we'll have to, and it'll give everybody a chance to see you guys. We have always had a great working relationship with our constables in Magnolia ISD, and they're contracted to come in and help maintain the security within our schools. But 2 years ago, Chris, how long have we been in this arrangement? 2 years? This is going on our second year of that. We decided this is our third year. Okay. This is a strange year this year. I'm off my game. Third year. So we decided we were going to sort of up what our game was in terms of security and protection in our campuses, and we were going to make sure we put an officer on every campus. And so we talked to Chris and began to work through the logistics of that, and he's assembled, I think, one of the finest teams of law enforcement officials that you're going to find anywhere on school campuses. And we're really kind of setting the model for what this looks like in public schools in the state of Texas, and the great men and women that we have here represented with our constable department is just indicative of the talent that we have here and the people that are able to come in and work with our kids in a very proactive way. And I mean, when you get into our building, you see these men and women working with those kids and the relationships they have with their administrators and the relationship they have with the parents and the kiddos, you begin to realize that we've added something that's very special in Magnolia ISD. And I'm so proud of them. And we're going to continue this. We're going to continue building on what we have here. And so, Constable, do you want to talk about your folks? I mean, put you on the spot. I'd love for you to introduce them and say something about them. There are a lot of them here, but it takes quite a few of us to keep us all safe every day. But I tell you what, I've heard from so many parents that it makes a lot of difference that we've got a caring constable in those buildings. So, Chris, go ahead.
Thank y'all for having us tonight. I'm not gonna sit here and introduce every one of them, so I don't know if I can do that right now or not. But I'll tell you, 3 years ago when the board came to us and they wanted us to look at putting an officer on every campus, it is something that had never really been done before in this area or in the state, really, having an officer at every campus. So we went from 8 to 18 in a matter of a couple months, and the transition was great. So a lot of people are asking us, hey, do we really need to have that many officers? Are the kids that bad? And the answer is no. We're here for the safety and security of everybody that comes on that campus. So when we send some of these guys and ladies out to the elementary schools, they become a mentor too, and they get to see these kids on a daily basis, and they get to know them. And I'm really looking forward to, over the next 10, 12 years, as these kids grow up with an officer in their school from day one all the way through their senior year, how that affects our ability to get to these kids and be able to talk to them and be a positive role model in their lives. So I want to thank the board for that. Dr. Stevens, I know you had a lot to do with that too. Rob Stewart, I know you had a lot to do with it. So I want to thank the board for having that forethought of putting everybody in here. So these guys get up every morning. If you're dropping your kids off at school, you see them out there. When you're dropping them off, they love what they do. And I couldn't be happier with all of them. So I really appreciate what they do, because it's totally different in law enforcement, whether you're on the streets or in the schools. And they've taken it on. They've taken that challenge, and they've done great with it. So once again, thank you for everybody for letting us be out here. And I want to thank these deputies for being here every day. Thank you.
Well, Chris, could we give these guys a standing ovation right here for the work they do? Hey, again, from the bottom of my heart, from this board of trustees and from the moms and dads out there, and I tell you, from every one of the principals that are here, thank you for what you do every day. And, I was kidding back there about the checks we were going to pass out. If I had the money, I'd make sure every single one of you got taken care of monetarily. But what we can do is tell you, we love you, we appreciate what you do, and it comes from the bottom of our heart. And so I'll see you around. You guys keep fussing at me when I wander in the buildings, okay? Thank you so much, Chris. Appreciate y'all being here tonight. Thank y'all. Appreciate you being here. October is also Principal Appreciation Month. And, it's just great that we have them here tonight, And I mean, it just makes this meeting so much better. And so could all our principals please stand up and let's recognize our principals for Principal Appreciation Month. Now, most of the veteran principals know normally on October Principals Month, Appreciation Month, I usually send the principals home early from the board meeting. But since we haven't had them here in over a year, it seems like, I think we'd just like to keep them here and appreciate them a little longer today. So if that's okay, Mr.
Yeah.
Blizzard.
In fact, I asked Dr. Todd if he was gonna make all the principals show up on principal appreciation. He said, well, if they don't show up, we can't very well love on them and appreciate them. So
we do appreciate them, though. We
absolutely. Do. Absolutely. It's a great bunch. It's a great bunch. And we appreciate those guys a bunch. We just respect and appreciate every single thing y'all do. If we don't get security right and safety right in our schools, nothing else matters.
We'll fuss at Chris. Well, speaking of appreciation, we've got some other groups we want to appreciate and love on right here tonight. Absolutely. Some of our business community. So,
Yep. We got some folks I've just seen them, from Chick-fil-A and HEB here. So why don't y'all come on up? Up. I'll tell you what, I can't think of two businesses with finer leadership that play such a huge role in this community for our students. Just about every event we go to, we can turn and see you guys there. We know you support us. We love you guys for it. We appreciate the partnership we have with you guys. And I feel like every time I go to HEB or Chick-fil-A, I'm walking into one of the schools, because they've got so many students working up there. It's incredible. So the support comes from every direction, and we just want to have them know that how much we appreciate that. But it's not just us. So what we're here to do tonight is on behalf of the Texas Association of School Boards, present you an appreciation from the state, from Austin, because they realize what critical partners you guys are in our community and in others, I'm sure, but we love ours. And so we just wanted to recognize you for that. And in this, what you're going to find is maybe a sticker, a decal or two to promote education and everything we stand for. And so that doesn't sound like much, but it's not the what, it's the why. Why we're up here today to say thank you and to present you this and show our appreciation for everything you guys do for our community. And you've always got our kids at heart, so we appreciate that.
We do really appreciate both of those groups for all the things you do in school. You know, and sometimes I catch myself thinking that HEB and Chick-fil-A are one and the same, but you know, they seem like they're always together in our schools, but we certainly appreciate it. It makes a difference when you have a community that's involved in a school district. If we're going to be the best, we're going to have community involvement. We've got some great ones in Chick-fil-A and HEB. So good job, TASB.
Absolutely. Thank y'all for coming up here for this. So what's next? I think you're next, if I'm not mistaken.
We've got superintendent's report. I don't have a whole lot, like especially other than we are continuing to have school, and we have come up on our 9 weeks sort of check mark here, and we've had a chance for people to decide if they want to come back into school. I don't have that exact benchmark number, but we had a lot of people who chose that were online chose to come back into our schools, and we're having to sort of readjust our class size and stuff because we've got kids now back in a classroom, and that's where we want them to be. And we're going to continue to serve those online, but we're loving the fact that we're getting them back into our classrooms. And again, I'm going to continue with the same sort of beat that it's beginning to seem a little strangely normal in how we're beginning to move along, and the year is starting to feel like a school year, and that's such a good thing to have that feel for not only our students, for our teachers. I'll continue to remind the board that we are certainly aware that balancing two programs, an online program and an in-class, in-person school as we normally for our teachers is it's a challenge, and we continue to recognize that, but our great teachers are going above and beyond to make those kind of things work, but we certainly have an eye on it. We're continuing to figure out, you know, what this is going to look like as we move farther into the future, but I just got a lot of great things to report. We have Dr. Martinez that has started with us. So we have, I think, one of the first school districts to actually have a pediatrician that works on staff with us and help us make decisions about medical-related policies. And he's been visiting our campuses and talking with principals about protocols and other things in place and giving us recommendations about how we can best protect the health and safety of not only our students, but our staff, but our moms and dads in those buildings. So we're so glad to have him. And he balances our workload with some. He's still actively working in some of the ER rooms across the county and does pediatric ER work there. So tonight he had an assignment, but we are going to have him very shortly, maybe at the November board meeting where he can do a little presentation. Y'all have a chance to meet him. But other than that, we're having school in Magnolia ISD, and it feels good. And it feels good that we've had a board meeting and we got kids here and we've got principals here too. It's just a little different in this building, but it works better in here. So
Absolutely.
that is my superintendent's report.
Well, good stuff. We just appreciate y'all, and, you know, when you think about, all the appreciation, I gotta hand it to this administration. They're forward thinkers. Think about it. We've got security second to none. We've got a doctor now on staff. We've got, partnerships in our town that are fabulous. And all of that is to pour into the teachers that we want to recognize and the students that are sitting here tonight with us that we just continue to love on and try to make them better each time. So it fits together beautifully. Tonight's a night of recognition. We don't have much business left on our agenda, but we're going to take a 5-minute break, not to try to run anybody off, but to give you a chance. If you wanted to slip out, if you need to slip out, you can. So we're going to take a 5-minute recess and come back for the business side of our meeting. Got to bang the gavel for this crowd, not for this crowd. Okay, Ms. Hinkleman, have we got anybody signed up to speak? All righty. Moving right on to our consent agenda. This portion of the agenda consists of items to be routine and be enacted by one motion unless separate discussion is requested. So the question is separate discussion requested by anyone? We've seen our notes. We're good with everything? Okay. All right. So then we need a motion to approve consent agenda items 8A through D. Motion by Sonia, seconded by Chuck. All those in favor? That motion passes. Thank you. Okay, our next part is our considered agenda. And the HGAC bylaws. Why am I looking down here? The HGAC bylaws authorize each member of an independent school district to designate a delegate to the HGAC Assembly, Houston Galveston Area Council, in case you didn't know what that was. Delegates must be duly elected members of the school district's Board of Trustees, and HGAC is a voluntary association of cities, counties, and special districts in the greater Houston area of Southeast Texas. So in the last couple of years, Dr. Moffitt has been our representative, and the alternate has been Ms. McDonald. And so now we need to select a delegate and an alternate for this year. So the question is, do we have any volunteers?
Yeah, I would love to do it again. It's pretty interesting. I've been on a couple of Zoom calls because we haven't met, but I'd be happy to do it again. And I kind of feel like I know what it is now after being on it for 2 years. So.
Well, then we need an alternate.
I would love to too, unless anybody else. I mean, it's really, really interesting group of people that get together and just you feel like you really kind of know what's going on. So I would definitely be an alternate to you.
We're not trying to twist arms here, but I think because I did it many years ago, and you got a lot further, more successfully involved in this group than I ever did. So I think it's wonderful.
I think it's good to have a representative there that represents school boards because it's a bunch of different city municipalities that are a part of it, and the school board participation is not very, very strong. And so me and Kelly went to a meeting last year, and it was supposed to be just school board members, and the whole city of Houston, how many showed up? 3. So
Other than you and I.
out of all the school districts. So I think we've got a strong representation by being there. So I would be happy to do it.
Cool. Okay. Anybody got any other comments? No objection down there on the end? Okay, then we need a motion that the Magnolia ISD Board of Trustees approve to appoint Magnolia ISD Board Trustee Dr. Travis Moffitt as a representative and Ms. Kelly McDonald as an alternate to the Houston Galveston Area Council General Assembly for the year 2021. Motion by Christie, seconded by Joe. That was quick. All in favor? That motion passes. Thank you, Travis. Thank you, Kelly. Man,
That's it?
that's all you
That's
got?
all you got?
He's asking me if that's all I got too. All right, anything else?
Well, again, you know, and all kidding aside, our principals, directors, it's really good to see you guys here for a while. But again, thank you so much for all you've done to help get this year up and rolling like it is. It's taken a lot of not only hard work, but it's also been smart work, and a lot of you have had to step up and do some tough things. So from the bottom of our heart too, we appreciate you for what you've done. But you can tell it's making a difference in this community for the moms and the dads and the kids and everybody else. And it's probably harder work than we've had to, you know, pull off in a long time in this business. At least it's very different, but I wouldn't want to do it with any other group than this group that's in here. So thank you so much for your work. And because it is Principal Appreciation Month, I think we should go ahead and send them home right now. Y'all can take the rest of the night off, okay?
But for the record, we're done, so he didn't let you off early, all right?
Thank y'all.
All righty. So at this time, the board will now recess to move into closed executive session for the purposes permitted by A, pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.071, consultation with attorney, pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.072, discussion of purchase, sale, exchange, or value of real property, and pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.074, personnel discussion and recommendations. So thank you guys for being here. We appreciate everything you do. I need a motion that we adjourn this meeting. Motion by Sonia, seconded by Kelly. All in favor? Meeting adjourned. Thank you.